We continue profiling Junior Olympic clubs, this time looking at Rocky Mountain Neptunes. We get you updated on the men's college water polo world and perhaps the first pop-up book in water polo history. Next on The Counterattack. Hi everyone, Greg Mescall here. Thanks for joining us on The Counterattack. We start things off first talking Junior Olympics, and we know there's still hundreds of days until the 2017 edition of the world's largest water polo tournament. We're talking about hashtag 2016 JOs and the Rocky Mountain Neptunes. They're the latest club we profiled in our series of JO features.
It's been a great experience. Not all of our 14 under players could come, so we had to bring some of our younger guys from 10 and under team and 12 and under team. So it's a good, very good learning experience for them.
They're a lot bigger than me. Well, I'm only 10, so I was kind of like a little scared, and it's just for the experience.
I really enjoy it, just helping them out, and most of them are pretty good for their age, so sometimes I don't even need to help them out, but, when they ask for help, I always try to be the leader. At the games at the beginning, they were still good for their age, but they've gotten so much better, and they've shut down people that are 3 times their size, an exaggeration, of course, sure. But they've done so much better on defense, and the youngest guy, he even scored a goal against a pretty big defender and against a huge goalie, and he just whammed it in there and scored.
Huge difference. So our 10 and under team has won the zone championship 3 years in a row. The main reason we bring them to JOs. In the past 3 years, we brought our 10 and under to JOs. That was those 8 games that they get. It's made huge difference.
Just the experience of being here and playing with all these different teams that we don't normally get to play with. Playing with stronger kids, it's gonna make me a better player and be able to practice with the older kids more.
In our zone, we don't have enough teams and enough games, so we come here to gain experience. Really, winning and losing, it doesn't matter. We want to play well and go back with more experience. We want to learn from California teams and better teams from other states and zones and go back a level higher.
I really enjoy being one of the oldest ones because I'm the biggest on the team, and that's a huge advantage when you're playing. I also really enjoy JOs because in Colorado there's not many kids, so I have to play up a lot, and this is one of the first tournaments I've played in my own age group, and I've had a really good time doing it.
They held their ground. I'm proud of them.
And now we go to Brooklyn, New York, and St. Francis College, where USA gold medalists from Rio 2016, Cammie Craig, Kaleigh Gilchrist, Courtney Mathewson, and Ashley Johnson were all at St. Francis College in Brooklyn Heights to tape a segment with the Today Show. They were teaching anchor Chanel Jones how to play water polo. They got her in the pool. They also talked about Rio 2016, winning gold, and what's next. This segment's going to air this coming Tuesday, October 4th on the Today Show on NBC. Make sure you're tuned in to catch all the fun from Brooklyn Heights. After the filming was done, we caught up with Ashley and Cammie at the home of the Terriers.
I think, having the opportunity to do my 3rd Olympic Games, I learned something different each quad. In 2008 I was the youngest on the team at 21. 2012 I was hungry for revenge. In 2016 it was all about giving back to the younger girls and giving them all the information and knowledge that I had learned along the way to help push their success.
Well, I was a young player on the team, but that team built like a crazy, impressive legacy for all of us goalies, every goalie that will follow her in the future, and it was just an honor to be a part of that and just be following in her footsteps and all that she built for us.
Now, after the TV cameras left, the athletes hung around to meet with the St. Francis women's water polo team. That's a Division I squad that plays in the MAC conference. And they also got to hang out and meet some of the age group athletes from the St. Francis Brooklyn Heights Water Polo Club. Some photos, some autographs showing off the gold medal, and Kaleigh Craig had some words for the group of future water polo stars.
What you guys are doing today are some of the same things that we did at your age. And that's kind of when the dream, I think, started for most of us. We started playing, if we were swimming or we were playing water polo, and we'd watch the Olympic Games.
Team USA now heads off to Washington, D.C. for the Team USA Awards, and a visit to the White House will have coverage of that event next week on The Counterattack. And now we go from Brooklyn to Santa Barbara, where KSBY out of San Luis Obispo is continuing to profile area athletes. This week they caught up with Kylie Neuschel.
Today we feature Goleta native Kaleigh Neuschel. Neuschel, of course, is one of several Central Coast natives on the U.S. national women's water polo team. She went to Dos Pueblos High School, where she won she was a four-time CIF Southern Section Player of the Year and won 3 CIF titles before winning 3 national titles at Stanford. As for Olympic gold, Kaleigh says it was all about the process of getting to Rio.
The best part of the whole thing was the journey to get to the Olympics. So the 15 months prior that we spent as a team, but for me and for many of my teammates who hadn't been to an Olympics before, the journey started when I was 7 years old, when I started playing water polo and wanted to be an Olympian.
Now let's turn to the men's college water polo scene as we get you updated at scores from around the country. The postseason will be here before you know it. And on to those college scores, the Mountain Pacific Invitational, perhaps the best non-conference tournament in this men's college water polo season. Well, UCLA wins it 10-7 over Cal. The Bruins remain undefeated. In third place, USC beating Pacific 8-3. A key semifinal result, it was Cal over USC 10-8. And then history for the Fordham Rams. We were at Fordham this past summer for a USA game. Fordham beating Navy 14-13 in OT. Why is it historical? First time Fordham's ever beaten Navy in men's water polo when both are at the varsity Division I level. Every now and again here on The Counterattack, we turn to the books, literature, stories about water polo, and this might be a first thanks to Karen Blaha of New Mexico submitting a handcrafted, one-of-a-kind water polo pop-up book. Check this out. Karen sent this to us. It's aptly titled Water Polo, and it is a pop-up book. Remember, you used to look at these when you were kids. I don't ever recall seeing a water polo one. It might be the first ever. Let's take a look inside this book, and we'll show you some shots here. Pretty cool stuff here. This is handcrafted, and this is some serious craftsmanship here. Nice job, Karen. Some different scenes from water polo. This perhaps the menacing look of a goalkeeper. Very cool stuff. Not sure if Karen's going to make more of these. If so, we'll pass along information on where you can get your own water polo pop-up book copy. But very cool stuff. Thank you, Karen, for sending this along. And great to see some water polo pop-up stories pop up right here on The Counterattack. And now some sad news. 2011 Masters Player of the Year Bob Neely passed away earlier this month and was memorialized this past weekend. He played water polo in college at Orange Coast College and UC Irvine. He attended Newport Harbor High School and was perhaps best known for his innovative ideas in the surfing community. Also loved to surf. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends. And now we close out the program as we do every week with the social media send-off, the best of water polo on the internet. Get involved, use the hashtag counterattack, and tag us at USAWP. And we start things off first in the social media send-off with John Mann and Kaleigh Gilchrist opening up the Baker Ranch Swim Club. They got a chance to take photos with fans, sign autographs, show off the medals. Good times had by all. More Gilchrist action, taking the train to Washington, D.C. She, of course, had to get a selfie with one of the Amtrak employees as she was headed to Washington, D.C. Everyone in Brooklyn Heights excited to meet Team USA as the SFBK Terriers account, that's the official Twitter account for St. Francis Athletics, tweeting out their excitement to have some gold medalists on campus. More Kaleigh Gilchrist. We know her surfing prowess. She met someone just like her, a young water polo player who's also a surfer in Brooklyn, New York. That is a rare combo, and they, of course, got a photo together. Kaleigh Craig, part of that shoot with the Today Show. She was having a blast in the Big Apple and in Brooklyn Heights. Back to the West Coast. Stanford, it's a wonderful place. You never know who you might run into on campus. Maggie Steffens showing off the gold medal here with Condoleezza Rice. That's a great image. We all know the Hill family is talented. Sammy and Cody Hill on the national team. Sister Abby and age group stand out. But younger brother, Deacon, he does the job on the football field. Check out Deacon letting it fly here just like Uncle Rico for the big game. And last but not least, more Flop Friday action. We go to the Central Valley Clovis East High School girls water polo. Here's their Flop Friday. Second flopper in, has it right on the money.
All right, girls, let's go.
So there you have it, our weekly social media send-off. We've combed the internet to bring you the very best water polo content, but you can help. Next week, use the hashtag counterattack. Tag us at USAWP. Also, don't forget Flop Friday. It's still a hot item. Hashtag Flop Friday. Start your Fridays off right with a belly flop into the pool. It's the best way to begin practice. That'll do it for this week's episode of The Counterattack. Don't forget, when you're on The Counterattack, someone just might be open, so look weak side.